Hi. All right, I think I'm live. I never know how long it takes to go from host to game, but thank you for the wonderful intro. Hi, everyone. I'm Ecdycis, and this is Dead Rising. This is probably one of my favorite games to speedrun, and I am very happy I got into this event. Before I begin, let me just kind of go over a few things. I'm going to be playing on some FPS settings. I'll kind of talk more about that later, but just understand I need to crank up FPS to make it high, just to kind of show that off. As well, we're going to be doing an entirely new game file. A lot of players like to play on level 50 file because it's New Game Plus. However, given the difficulty of Dead Rising, we're going to be playing on standard new game, so level 1 file, and that should be a lot of fun. Anyway, time begins not once I push this, but once I kind of skip the first cutscene. I got that down in a moment, but I hope that you're all ready for a very interesting game. Yeah, I guess that's really about it for now. Okay, anyway, so 3, 2, 1, let's go with some Dead Rising. So, the first question I think everyone likes to ask is, how in the world do you speedrun Dead Rising? Because naturally, when it comes to Dead Rising, everyone thinks, hey, isn't that game on like a 6-hour rail? It is. However, when the game got a PC port in around 2016, we had a mod made years later called the Time Skip mod, and this allows us to just go from mission to mission like a regular story game would. We're not actually breaking anything too badly, it just quite goes, hey, you beat mission 2, you can go to mission 3 now, you don't have to worry about anything else. As well, you might be wondering, why do I keep hopping? As you may see, Frank goes a little bit faster upon the jump and the landing, so in the early game, I want to be hopping as much as possible, just because it'll make Frank faster. Right now, we're going to be hitting our first interesting bit of RNG, which is going to be the zombie spawn. To play this safe, no, not the TV, the bench. I need to get a special weapon from some guy named Ryan Reynolds. If I get bad RNG, I can go just really poorly, so I take the bench just so I don't have to worry about it. It seems like my RNG was actually decent, but we're going to use the bench to just... zombies. You know what? I can just weave in here. There we go. If they want to give me that... There it is. Okay. We are out. Perfect. And we got the shotgun. So a lot of people don't actually know that a shotgun is right there. It's kind of one of the unexpected things about the intro. So let's pass... There we go. Perfect. I like one of those shotguns right there. Right now, I'm level 1, quite weak, so the shotgun's gonna come quite in handy. The intro is a heavy RNG point, if you could not tell, just because the zombie spawns are RNG, the shove kind of can be in a weird place if you don't get it right, and a lot of just general factors. Anyway, right now we're going to be going on a little scavenger hunt for our first mission. The general plot of Dead Rising is that there's zombies in the mall, you're trying to get a story, and you have 72 hours to do it all. So, we're going to be going through these cases and just kind of dealing with... It's kind of like a boss rush, essentially. So, let's go with our first boss coming up and our first area of resource gathering. You can all see the cases right there throughout the missions. Another thing I do want to mention for anyone who did play Dead Rising casually, because you may be wondering, are there difficulties in this game? How does it scale? So Dead Rising is a game that kind of expects you to learn it as you play it. So for a lot of casual players, what you'll end up doing is you'll end up overwriting your save and going to New Game Plus, so you can start at the beginning at like level 26. We're at level 1, so the way we're going to deal with some of the bosses here is going to be a bit different than what you might expect, mainly because you don't have the strength to do a lot here. As well, I'm grabbing skateboards because now this is the fastest way to move along. Which is going to be weird because you think this game's a zombie game, but it's a lot more of a skateboarding game. In addition to that, I'll be grabbing magazines because these magazines actually do let me have more board health. It's going to become a thing where board health is going to be more important than my actual health because this is going to be just such a fast way of moving around. Also, Frank West is clearly a pro skater because he can skateboard on grass, he can skateboard in water, and he can skateboard on stairs. He can really do anything you can imagine with the skateboard. It's like a Tony Hawk game in a way, without all the ska music. And a lot more zombies. So, going back onto board health, though, there's going to be a few ways of managing this, and it will be very RNG-based, and that's going to come up with the level-up system we'll have after this first boss. The first boss in the game is going to be that guy we saw on the roof, which is going to be Carlito, once we get to the store. So the way this boss fight's going to work is he's going to be spawning in the top rafters. They give you a pistol. We're going to get the shotgun, and we're just going to pop him right here. There's going to be two things that can happen. He stopped here, so I'm going to shoot him right in his leg. Hope I get a bunch of shots, and I got a perfect fight right there. That was beautiful, but pop, 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 pop. The shotgun is very powerful here because it's more like an actual shotgun. I know so many games give you the pea shooter of a gun where it's like, oh, you're more than 20 feet away, or more than like 2 feet away. Alright, doesn't work, so... It's just one of those things that I really like about Dead Rising, because the shotgun will always do a good amount of damage. You don't have to worry about that. Right now, let's talk about the level up system, because I'm now level 2. I likely got Zombie Ride or Jump Kick. I wasn't really paying attention, because it's not a good upgrade. What I want to see early is stock, because that allows me to have more items. I'm a low level, so items are important. Speaking of which, I'm grabbing a submachine gun right here. If I had a stock upgrade, I'd be able to keep my second board, which would be healthier for later, but we'll still be just fine. That's why I grabbed 2 skateboards, by the way, because I have the beater board and then my regular board, which is this pink board right here. Right now, we're going to be hitting what I like to call the hardest trick in the game. This is a newer skip that was found really in the past year by runners in the Dead Rising community, which are named Popesol and Sens. But the general idea of this skip is normally after this mission, you would have to walk all the way back or skateboard all the way back. And it takes a while. You have to go through like the food court, the park, the entrance plaza. But if you get on this bicycle, we can actually do something very interesting with the game's physics, but only if you're on high FPS. Dead Rising functions very oddly on higher FPSs, which I had that running earlier. That actually makes the early game a lot tougher than you would imagine because of this, because lower FPSs mean less zombies. So the way this trick's going to work is I start going right immediately during this, I cancel the case, and now we're going to go up to this pillar riding the bicycle. I'm going to try explaining this, but I don't know why it works. It just sort of works. I'm going to be leaning right and left at the same time. So I'm going to hold this, I'm going to hold the brake, I'm going to lean left, and then we just sort of fly. I get off the bike, and that's bike zip. I did not go in the void. That was perfect first try. The general idea is by getting the bike stuck and like pushing every movement button together, so right on my controller and left on my keyboard, I'm able to just make Frank fly, and that skips all the walking back. However, now that I've done the trick, I have to lower my FPS, because if I don't do that, the elevators will become elevators, and I will have terrible RNG to come in these elevators. This is really, really bad. Every single grab loses about 3 seconds, so ideally, I don't want to get grabbed. Also, we went so fast, Jeff Meyer did not die of old age. So that's a good thing. Anyway, that is now case 1 completed, and if the time skip mod is working correctly, which it should be, I activated for the run, we're now going to go from case 1-4, and it will cut to a cutscene, when now we're going to 2-1, which will essentially be the next boss fight. As well, since this is a new game file, we're going to be automatically having to save here. It's kind of like, hey, you're learning how to save the game. You should probably do that by now. So we'll have a guaranteed safety save that you always have to make. Also, we went so fast, Jeff is still alive. That normally doesn't happen. In the past, you would be a lot slower, because Jeff would just eventually die of loneliness. But this way, you don't have to worry about him. He actually lives, surprisingly enough. And the next boss fight is going to be another tough one. Good thing I have the safety save, because in the past, we had a really safe strat where we got a hockey stick and we kind of just nailed them with hockey pucks. We had a fun strat for the name, which is Canadian military strats. However, now it is going to be much, much faster to use that SMG I grabbed earlier. The only risky part about this, though, is Carlito is now upgraded from his SMG to a 50 cal sniper rifle. So what I'm going to be doing right now is skating on the right. Hopefully I don't get hit. If I get hit, that's fine. I'll now be going over to the SMG and wailing on him with timed shots, banking on the stun, and just kind of rhythmically tapping the button. If I tap too fast, I'll run out of bullets, and I won't do enough damage. So I'm kind of just rhythmically getting the bullets into him, making sure he's stunned, and this is much faster. It's also a good reason we're able to do bike zip, because then I don't have to worry my board health, I keep the SMG, and that fight's now done, and we're level 3. It looks like I got a possibly good upgrade. I got a bad upgrade. Never mind. Okay, this run just got harder. That sucks. So I have a zombie ride. The way level ups work is levels 2 through 5 will always give me the same 4 upgrades. However, every time you run the game, it will be different on the order. You can pretty much have every permutation of level up, including health, stock, jump kick, and zombie ride. Ideally, getting stock on level 3 is nice because I can have a book going here, but since I didn't get it, we'll have to be very safe with my boarding. Something to mention that you may be noticing during the run right now is I'm always making little micro adjustments. I love showing you my controller because I'm just like moving constantly left and right while boarding. I have to make sure I do this because my board normally has 3 health, but every magazine will multiply that by 3, so I have 9 hits, and I want to get that up to 27. Also, well, it's time for Gone Guru. I love this song. We're going to do manipulation here. By going straight to this tree, the convicts will always crash here. I'll then get out my SMG. I'm going to pop the gunner in the head with a bunch of headshots. He dies. I'm now going to jump up to them, steal the minigun, and... Alright, Gone Guru is down. The music is just disappeared, and we're going to take this guy's dead body. He's going to ride with us. We get to go in the carpool lane of speedrunning, which, you know, that's going to help. As well, this car serves more than one purpose. Right now, we're on the Mission Medicine run. We have to make our way over to the North Plaza grocery store across the map, and I need to open up the maintenance tunnels for a later mission, and I'm actually going to be making my way over there. In addition to that, I'm going to make a trade. So I'm going to trade this guy's dead body for an LMG. I think it's an LMG. It's a heavy machine gun of some kind. 50 cal, big gun. I don't quite know the model of guns. I just know they shoot. Anyway, this gun's going to come in a lot in handy, and it looks like I did get stock, so this can be really good RNG if I get a lucky skateboard. And I did not. I got a can of food. Oh well. Anyway, back here we're getting the maintenance tunnel key, because later I will need to make sure I come back to the maintenance tunnels. One of the later missions in the game will have me driving all through here, so don't worry, we'll see plenty of it later. For right now, though, we're probably going to be fighting one of the most iconic boss fights of Dead Rising. Plus, I'm slightly less worried about my estimate now, because when I was practicing Dead Rising, that big bike trick, I got into the void like 6 times in a row at one point. So, I get to do something a little bit more fun now. Also, since we have best upgrades, I can just zombie right there, and we're going to be taking this 50 cal machine gun. I'm going to call it a machine gun. I don't know if it's 50 cal. I don't know how many cals. It's heavy machine gun, I think, is the official name. Anyway, with this, we're going to be hitting one of the hardest boss fights of the game. It is going to be Stephen, the store clerk. I think everyone loves this cutscene, so let's watch a bit of it, just because my estimate was planning on failure. Also, Mr. Enigma, if you would like to read one donation, feel free to go for it.
I would love to, because we have a lot here. I have a $50 donation from the Lord of Stuff, who says $50 every day of SGDQ Day 3. I didn't even know Dead Rising could be speedrun. Excited to see how it is done. Hype!
Go for 2 more.
All right, we have $250 from Johnny Rico, who says, Frank loves the void, but not today. Let's go Dead Rising bike skip.
Oh, thank you. 1 more.
We have $20 from Manticore1987, who says, Hey, Ecdycis, good luck on your run, and here's hoping that Frank doesn't embrace the void. Thanks for the awesome horror runs.
He did it, and I'm so glad. Anyway, I love showing this off to people, because you never played Dead Rising. This kind of summarizes the whole game. I love him. The actor really got in his role, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be blunt with you. We're not going to see a lot of them. Alright, Stephen is now dead. We used a heavy cal machine gun, and he's dead. We built a build in anticipation. He was a tough fight, but now he's dead. The machine gun does a lot of damage. The downside is you drop it if you move. So, since I was able to drive the car here and just go up the stairs, as you can see, he just dies immediately. And it's one of the easiest fights in the game because of that. Traditionally, that fight actually is really hard because if you don't have that 50 cal, he'll keep ramming you, or he'll shoot with the shotgun, and you just lose a lot off of that. And it is quite unfortunate and can be a run killer. Luckily, though, we have that strat. Also, it looks like I don't think I've taken a single hit on the pink board so far. This has been really good boarding, and I kind of wish I ran a live split timer, because this game does in-game timer, for anyone who's wondering, for speedrunning. So we don't have to worry about loads being faster or slower, and that's why watching cutscenes is sometimes allowed in the community, just because it won't count against you. Right now as well, you may see that we've been taking a lot of cars. The cars actually do have different movement speeds, so I'm going to be getting out of this van, and I'll be going into the Corvette. What? Convertible? I don't know the model of this gun. I don't know guns and I don't know cars, but you know what I do know? Apparently skateboarding. And bikes. What's the name of that? The X Games of Dead Rising. And then we park the car beautifully by just crashing into this wall. Alright, so now the RNG of the items is going to come into play. So since I didn't get stock earlier, I'm going to have to get the magazine now. I also don't want to eat too many board hits, so I'm going to play a little bit safer on my board, just because while I take damage, that's going to count for 3 times the amount of damage after I get the book. We do actually have a way of telling the health with a speedrunning tool, but it's not really used in live runs. But now that I have 2 of the books, they stack multiplicatively. I can never pronounce that word, but essentially instead of being like, I don't know, additively, it's times 3 of that. So what would that be? Times like 27 health, because it traditionally has 3, and then times 3 is 9, and then times 3 more is 27. So that is nice. Also, to kind of bring up a couple of oddities about the zombie grabs in this game, just because we do get grabbed a decent amount, you don't have to actually ruin your joystick to do that. You can just rotate it, and it works really quickly and gives you maximum speed. And in addition, anytime I get grabbed at 2 frames or 2 inputs, it's going to be a failure. Also, look, we can see Jesse's beautiful face while we wait for the medicine. We did it. Alrighty, we're now going to be getting to the next boss fight. You can tell that Dead Rising is a lot of boss fights for the main cases. I'll be making a save here just to be certain. There is a few things that can go wrong. I only say this because I've had... Whenever I say anything positive, it tends to bite me. So let's not do that. I'm making the savey save just in case. We're going to be having our board until pretty much the end of the game for a while. We have one more board refresh that we're going to have time for. But this board's going to be going through the long haul here. So I do want to be careful with the zombies I'm hitting. As well, if it does really get damaged, there is a secondary path I can take, which is the safer path, but we don't have to do that right now. As well, the joy of this chapter is the cultists spawned in, so we're immediately going to ignore Jennifer because it's faster. It's kind of fun because I mentioned during the interview that we're going to be a terrible person. We're not going to save anybody. Jennifer dies, Sophie died, old man Jeff Meyer died of loneliness. It's a really sad world in the world of Dead Rising. I don't think you want to be, like, Frank West doesn't help anybody. It's kind of horrible. But alright, so we're going to be getting to the next boss. But there's a minor trick here first. With skateboarding, whenever you're going up a ramp, if you brake, you can actually cancel the slowdown, which is a very neat bit of tech. Okay, so this next boss fight is going to be Isabella. Isabella is one of the rougher fights in the game to learn. Once you kind of get the hang of it, though, I think it's really fun. The reason why is you're going to be introduced to a new trick called pump canceling. The idea of this, it works in many games. Whenever you have a gun that kind of doesn't fire fast enough, what we can do is we can swap off of it to make it reset the fire rate. So I'm going to wait, I'll fire a gun at Isabella, hop over, and then I'm just going to unload her a bunch of shotgun rounds into her. I got a little bit unlucky with that zombie grab, and now Isabella is cooperating. One more hop, and Isabella is down. That was a really good fight. I got off with 1 health, and you kind of just see him to like pop, pop, pop each time. The speed does vary. I can swap back and forth faster, but the thing is, you have to see, I'm also avoiding the zombies, jumping around. Sometimes you can get a really good fight where she gets stuck and you just unload shotgun shells on her, but that one wasn't bad right there. Also, it gets really bright because it immediately went from like 4 p.m. in-game time to like midnight. I'm going to equip the shotgun right now, and that's immediately going to defeat this mini-boss. It's a section where Isabella is now in danger, so I just shoot her, and now she's my friend. You see, to make friends with Isabella, what you have to do is fire 8 shotgun shells in her face and then save her from 1 zombie, and now she's my friend. This case is pretty light. We do have to avoid Kendall back here. He has a good chance of shooting us. It's more annoying than anything, because I'll knock Isabella off my back. But this is what I like to call the calm before the storm. This mission, the main annoyance is going to be the zombies. The zombies are actually less likely to grab you, but if they slap you, Isabella can fall off your back. So for the most part, this will just be a nice walk back to the safe house, and it would be a wonderful time for some donations.
Well, if that's what you want, I think I got some. We have a $50 donation from I Am Skeletor, who said, had to pop in quick and donate while my favorite streamer runs Dead Rising. I'm currently battling stage 4 stomach cancer myself, and his night streams help me get through some tough nights. I appreciate you, and hopefully we don't get too many Franks stuck in the void. Smiley face. I love GDQ and all that they do for cancer research. Keep up the great work all. Less than 3. Skeletor, we wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Agreed. Thank you.
Got time for more?
Yep, feel free to keep going.
All right. We got a $25 donation from Corleana, who says, when I saw that Ecdycis and AnEternalEnigma were going to be on stream at the same time, I knew I had to save my donation for this run. You two are some of my all-time favorite streamers, and I know this run is going to be beyond amazing. Thank you, Corleana. Thank you very much. We both appreciate that.
Yeah. I think 2 more.
2 more. We have a $50 donation from Kona Riken, who says, I have to donate for Ecdycis for all the entertainment I've had over the last 6 months watching runs from the crypt. No matter what the game, it's such a chill, relaxing time. Although I can't catch it live, I love catching the VODs on YouTube. Good luck with that final boss, X. And one more, we have
Yep.
a $50 donation from Breaking Fuse, who says, "Hey, Ek, so glad to finally see you running Dead Rising at AGDQ. Shoutouts to Pokesau for giving us the bike zip skipperoo, and everyone else in the Dead Rising speedrun community for making it so welcoming and friendly. Also, shout out to my girlfriend for encouraging my speedrunning of this game when I used to run it. Let's go, Horror Block."
Thank you very much, especially for that last one as well. All of them are very sweet. But with Breaking Views as well, I want to mention Breaking Views is the reason we have that SMG strat. They're able to route that in and saved, I think, 20 seconds over the old route. So definitely a big thank you to that one as well. So right now we're coming into probably the meanest case in the game for a lot of newer runners. This is going to be Bomb Collector. So at this point in the game, story-wise, Carlito has planted a bunch of bombs in the mall, and you need to get rid of them because there's toxic gas that will make zombie air, oxygen. It'll make the air diseased. I don't quite know his plan, but I just know it has zombies and bombs, so we need to put a stop to that. We can now go into the maintenance tunnels, since we opened that earlier, and we are going to be hitting a very fun song. It's like doo-doo-doo-doo. We're going to be also getting in a car. So this is mean. This is a lot of RNG. The reason why is because now I have to worry about a car health. My car, you can see I'm taking some weird angles while driving. I need to get this through the entire mission without breaking. Cars can break in this game. Things that can break it: zombies, walls, dividers, and worse, well, Carlito for one, and even worse than that, shopping carts. Throughout the map, there's going to be shopping carts, and if I run one over, it will absolutely total my car. I don't know if that happens with actual cars, because I've never ran over a shopping cart. However, they're made out of, like, titanium steel or something. They're made out of weapons, military weapons-grade steel. They just destroyed... Oh my god, Carlito, what are you doing? Well, he rammed me. We should be fine. There's a backup for this, but he almost never does that. I can't say it's ever happened before, but close. Definitely unexpected. Normally he takes a curve and tries to avoid you, but now Carlito's going to chase us. The bombs are always in the same spot. We're going to be getting them, and while we're getting them, Carlito's actually trying to throw grenades at me. This won't be a problem unless I take too much time, but now I kind of have to be careful of my car's health. There's different levels, which is the back mirror cracking, and most importantly, smoke on the left and right, and the top. If smoke is on the top, I am some deep, deep stuff. So I do need to be quite careful. This is normally the time I want it to be smoking from the crack in the back. So I think I'll have to take the safety car. Where's Carlito? Where did he go? What? Well, I didn't get good RNG, but where did he go? You see, last year I ran a haunting round and I had a mysterious enemy come up. This time he just vanished, which is good for me. And I don't know where he went. Normally he'd be throwing grenades at me here, but he just sort of vanished. I guess this is fine. Bomb collector's almost done. Well, I guess I'm happy with that. Here's the last bomb. I could try to YOLO the car. I probably could since Carlito's not going to be in the way. But let's just see how it goes while backing up. I should take the safety car. Oh, there he is. Yep, good thing I took the safety car. Oh, God. He went right for it. Well, good thing I trusted my gut on that one. Here's the safety car. We just take this one out. And glad I did that because Carlito was immediately bolting out of the corner to ram me. So that would have been terrible. Anyway, that's Bomb Collector. And the reason why it's so hard is just because if you mess up, your car will break early. And then you have to walk through those tunnels or you have to skateboard through them. If you break your board, it is terrible. As well, same thing as earlier, we'll be getting this car. The convicts are back, but we don't need anything from them this time, and they're going to vanish immediately once we return back to the safe house. So we're not going to worry about them, but you can say hello to them right there. They came back to life. See, they're just sleeping. It was a trade. We traded some sleepy dreams for a gun earlier. Also, Frank West once again parks his car like an absolute champion. I would say for a lot of people who run this game, a lot of learning it is going to be learning how to just skateboard through Paradise Plaza. You end up doing this specific route of boarding every time, and getting to weave through the zombies takes a lot of work, but it's quite fun. Anyway, I can definitely say I laughed because of that, and I guess I'm happy Carlito did that, but I'm just... I have no idea why he did that. That's so weird. Okay, so now my board has survived all I needed it to. This has actually been a really good boarding. I don't normally get this good of boarding during a run. However, I did not get a stock upgrade during Bomb Collector, unfortunately, so the next part of the run actually will be a lot tougher. The reason why is because having 2 boards makes the skateboarding through the end game much better. 2 boards will always be better than 1, and I am going to have to make do with very little inventory. It's the same deal from level 6 through 10. I have a set of 4 upgrades. They'll always be the same. However, I didn't get the ones I wanted, unfortunately. But that's okay. Now we're hitting Isabella Escort, and I do need to explain a few things, because normally escort missions aren't very good. Especially this one, because if you've ever played Dead Rising casually, you may know that the survivors can be quite rough. Let's use the word rough. However, Isabella is built different, so she has much more health than any other survivor, and she's much more aggressive. The reason they did that is because most survivors are pretty useless when it comes to fighting zombies. Isabella always attacks the zombies. So you may be noticing, hey, why are you killing the zombies? Because if I don't, then Isabella will. And the problem is she's not very good at it, because very often she'll aim her gun inside of the zombies' bodies and shooting through them, which isn't good for me. But we do have a fun trick for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to abandon Isabella. The way zombie generation works in Dead Rising is that whenever you're a set distance away, they will spawn and despawn. The game was engineered at the time, since, you know, this game was made back in, 2006? It can only really handle zombies by directly putting them in front of you or a certain distance. So if I go into this back area, you can see Isabella in the tiny little window. She's going to be running, and that's going to be very good for me. I'm going to wait here for about, let's say, I do about 12 seconds traditionally. But I wait here because what's going to happen is Isabella's going to have a perfectly clear path all the way to the exit. So now that I'm done waiting here, I'm going to now skateboard to the exit. It doesn't matter how fast I go, I need Isabella to go through every single time. And as you can see, right now she's by the exit. I waited a little bit longer than you would normally want to wait, but you can see she's already there. So the whole idea of this trick is I'm going to be doing this 3 times. Once in Paradise Plaza, right now I'm skating all the way around the park, and I'll be going through North Plaza doing the same thing, because I just want to de-aggro Isabella from any zombies. It's always funny to look at, because it's like, oh, isn't this slower? Nope, it's much faster, because you'll be able to see in that tiny square that Isabella's just running the whole time, and that's what you want. The old route was defending her. This way, it's much better. And that being said, since we're just traveling, if you would like to read a few donations, feel free to go for that.
I would love to. That's what I'm here for. We have a $10 donation from 1000 Dead Dracula.
Hey.
It says, good luck with the run, Ek. Don't fall into the void.
Oh.
We have, oh, look who this is. We have a $50 donation from our very own Kung Fu Fruit Cup, who says, missing the infinite void, but super hyped to see you get first try bike skip. We have a $250 donation from Kayak, who says, now stay with me here, who says, Ecdycis hype sis? Yeah.
You think
that's going to catch on?
Maybe.
Ecdycis hype sis. We have another $250 donation from Rally, who says, big fan of nighttime GDQ. Wanted to make my donation during a cool game, and Dead Rising has been a long-time favorite. Can we get a $5 donation train going during the horror block? Let our combined help be a light in the dark.
Feel free to go for 2 more.
2 more. We have a $310 donation from Beer Fox, who says, $10 for every year I've been alive. Thanks for all of y'all's hard work and for a great birthday week. And to cap it off, we have an anonymous $100 donation with no message. Thank you, everybody.
Perfect timing on that. All right, so we did a lot of the Isabella manipulation there, and actually, hold on, since we're doing this, let's actually break this box. I get to eat this great cantaloupe, melon, I don't know what that is. It's a fruit. So what I did there now is, since Isabella's all done, she is going to the safe house, and, that's bad. Not that bad, but less good than I want. I grabbed 2 shotguns here. This is going to be the last, pretty much, I'm level 7 right now. I want to mention, if you're doing Dead Rising casually, you usually end up at the end of the game by like level 30 or something. I'm level 7, and I'm going to be entering the final boss of 72-hour mode. There is an incentive right now to fight the true final boss. That's a boss in overtime mode. That would add an extra 20 minutes and was not accepted, but we do have the donation incentive to fight the final boss of that, which is quite an interesting thing, so if that's still happening, that's there. But going back into this, we're going to be getting to the regular final boss of the time skip category, which I think is going to be very fun. The downside, though, is since I didn't get a stock upgrade, you can see I'm kind of hopping through the zombies. I only have 1 boards left of health. And a quirk about Dead Rising is the more the game progresses, more zombies spawn in the mall. Now, the problem, once again, is that my skateboard does have durability, so the more zombie hits it takes, the less likely it is to work. And in order to go faster and faster, I'm going to want a healthy board. So that's going to be the general idea of this whole finale going into this. We're going to be skateboarding back to the safe house really just 2 more times, this time and 1 more after that. But we are getting close to the end of this run. So I do want to say I hope you've all been enjoying this so far. Let's see. But for the final boss, it's going to be a butcher. And there's going to be some interesting quirks about him, some interesting fights, and another reason why we need the maintenance tunnels open. The general idea is I will give a hint. It will have something to do with those 2 shotguns I grabbed. Let's see how the boarding's going to go here. And... Alright, it's not too bad. I definitely want to be careful, though, because it's going to be a pretty tight hallway later in the game. Also, my RNG in terms of level up has not been good for me. I think I got kickback in health. I don't really like getting health because you shouldn't be getting hit anyway, but such is life. Alright, so now we get to go to the final butcher boss. Case 8-4. We're going to be going through the elevator again, and we're going to be going the same way that we went for Bomb Collector. This is also why the maintenance tunnels are good, and very often for runners, they end up low on health. That's part of the reason I ate the melon earlier. Normally, I shouldn't need it, but just for the sake of clarity, I can show where safety health is, just because also the final boss has the ability to do 3 health bars. I should have mentioned this way earlier, but health in Dead Rising is kind of strange, just because every single one of those blocks is actually 100 health. So very often that bar might tick or like pulse. That means I've taken damage, and damage can be like 25, so you won't lose an entire bar. The bar only loses if you lost the 100 block health. So Larry, the final boss here, can actually do 300 health in 1 hit. He can one-shot me. That's bad, as one may imagine, especially since I'm now down to 2 health. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what every single mall has. I'm going to take the raw meat on the ground and just, eat it. Obviously it's safe and healthy. And now we're back to cooler health. Ideally, I shouldn't need that, but you never know, especially with how Carlito acted earlier. You never truly know. Alrighty, so more of the same car driving. The cars always respawn in the same spot. So this time, car damage isn't going to be as huge of a deal because it's a one-way stretch. I can actually kind of abuse it a lot more. The only downside is running over shopping carts can actually get the car on its side. I didn't know that can happen until I lost a very good run to that. But the car RNG can be rather volatile, unfortunately. Alright, so we're heading now into the butcher shop. And before I do the fight, I want to show you a fun fact that not a lot of people know. Because a lot of people don't like this fight because they think he's a mean guy. He actually won't attack you unless you attack him. See? Look, we're buddies. What's up, buddy? Alright, anyway, time to do the fight. We're going to hide behind the meat, and I am going to swap back and forth with my shotguns, and I'm just going to keep pump canceling into him. Dude, that's almost bad. Yup, good thing I healed. Good thing I healed. Good thing I healed. Hold on, that's a bad angle. Stop shooting Carlito. Larry. Of all the things that give me trouble, I didn't think it was going to be Larry. Alright, so I want to make sure I don't go too fast. The reason why is Larry is one of the only bosses in the game with super armor. I got by with 1 bullet, so if you just pump immediately, you'll actually end up losing both of your guns, and then you're going to have to use a meat cleaver. I'm only slightly worried because driving into the meat does lose board health. Anyway, that is the regular final boss of 72-hour mode. All we have to do now is head back to Isabella's, and then head back to the roof, and we're almost done with the run. I do hope that, once again, you've all been enjoying it. It's been pretty fun doing this game. I've worked really hard on being able to get Dead Rising to a point where I've just grown a lot more since then. A lot of community members have done that, so I do want to give special shout-outs to them. There's been a lot of developments, especially by runners like Breaking Views, Pokesol, and much of the Dead Rising community, especially for years. But being able to have Dead Rising somewhere like this truly is something nice, especially since this is one of the first games I really ended up learning, so it's kind of nice to have that culmination get into GDQ. Alright, so we have a nice motorcycle ride back, and we're just going to be jumping forward a bunch of time. With the cases, like I mentioned earlier, they just sort of give you a lot of waiting time to play around with, and normally you have a lot of waiting time with the military, but it's going to be literally just waiting in the safe house. Because traditionally, they would give you time to roam around, keep returning to Isabella, but since we're skipping the time, it's going to be waiting here until we have to go back to the roof. And it's kind of a nice send-off, since things are rather chill. All the zombies will be gone, we're going to be skipping some cutscenes. And I guess right now would be a great question to ask. Did we hit the incentive?
Did we hit the incentive, you ask? Let's take one look at it, one final look at it. I'm pulling it up here, and I am happy to say that the final boss incentive for Dead Rising was indeed met.
All right. Also, I'm not too sure what I am estimate-wise. I'm assuming it's probably under the estimate.
You're currently at about 35 minutes.
I'm at 30. Okay, that's about expected. So we can probably watch the final cutscene, set the mood, and then we can kind of talk about what's going on with that, if that works out. Unless we need to catch them on time, because we pretty much like about a minute left in the whole run. Just a nice leisurely skate back. This is kind of why you want at least one board to make it. If I had two boards, the main difference would be I can be much more aggressive with my boarding. I can run into zombies, I don't have to worry. But you just need one board to last this point, so you have one final stretch all the way back. As well, for anyone interested in running Dead Rising, we have a variety of category differences. So if you want to run the main 72 hours, time skip's a good category. If you want to do the overtime mode in addition to that, we have True Ending. If you want to fight all the wacky bosses, all bosses is a category for that. And even then, we even have all survivors if you are that much of a masochist, I suppose. So, time will be coming up shortly. It is about maybe 3 room transitions away. But once again, I do want to say thank you all for watching Dead Rising. I have been Ecdycis, and I can't thank you enough for having me. Let's see what we get here. Good boarding in the finale. And once we get through here, it is now time. EG.
GG. GG.
What was the time?
I'll see it unless our producer has it. There you go.
Cool. All right, that's a good time. So we had a 36:01. Definitely good. I definitely what I wanted to be. I was kind of worried what cutscenes to show because of the bike zip. A lot of my estimate was accounting for that. But this might be one of the best marathon Dead Rising runs I've ever had. Instead of the weirdness of the Carlito. Anyway, to set the stage, we're going to watch the ending here a bit. But once again, if you have, you want to check me out, I do a lot on social media, on Twitch and all that. I'm Ecdycis. You can find me at twitch.tv/Ecdycis, all that stuff. I also run a GDU Hoppic show, which is a bunch of horror games. Anyway, enjoy the ending, and then we'll go on.
I'm on my way.
We did it.
Huh? Hey! 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 I'm over here! I see you, buddy! I see you! Yeah! I'm on my way! Yeah! Yeah! You did it! You did it! Yeah! Yeah!
I want to mention it now because it always gets asked how the zombie got in there. I want to say we actually checked this. Some of the community members have checked this. And apparently the zombie doesn't spawn in the helicopter until takeoff. So I'm guessing it just snuck in there. And then... that's what happens to poor Frank. But luckily, since we, all you kindly donated for it, we're going to be able to see the true ending, and Frank will not be left here on the roof alone with a bunch of zombies. We're going to be able to see what truly happens to him. And before I get into that, I do want to kind of preface some of the stuff around this, just because I'm not going to lie to you. This is kind of a bit of a last-minute addition for this incentive. I was watching the pre-show, and it was mentioned about the final boss of Dead Rising and a certain method you use to beat that final boss, which I guess gives it away if you don't know what exactly it is. And then I said, hey, we can make this a thing if you guys want to, if you all want to. And AGDQ accepted it, and you all kindly donated for it. So normally what would happen is we would do something called overtime mode, which directly follows 72 hour. Before the run, I actually made a save. Right now, I'm level 10, as you can see here. I have a file that is the lowest possible level that you can be using the overtime stuff. I have two of these. This one's the beginning overtime, and this one is a special one I made for GDQ. You can see it has the same exact experience, 211100, which is not a lot. That gets you exactly to level 9, which is pretty low. Now, the thing with this is this uses the overtime low route, or the overtime new game route. Traditionally, you'd have to avoid the military, you would have to be a higher level, and the final boss is a fist fight with a military guy. And it's normally very hard even on the max level, especially when you hit like a noodle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a slight preview of this category and how new game speedrunners absolutely destroy the game of Dead Rising. Anyway, if I guess we'd like to reset the timer, we can get this quickly timed. There's two bosses in this, and it's going to have my save file right before them, and the tools that we'd have to beat that traditionally. Just let me know when we're ready. I'd say 3 minutes. Or I'd say 5, just to save 5. All right. All right. So, some of you may have prior knowledge of how this works. A lot of you may not, though. But there are special tools in Dead Rising that they don't tell you about. One of these is called the Quick Step. It's going to be in line with this, but if you know your Dead Rising stuff, you'll know why this works. If you don't, enjoy the surprise. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So I made a save right here, and I have one item. Isabella's not going to be following us. At this point in the game, you've made a vaccine for Frank. He's going to be healthy. You and Isabella are escaping the mall through a tunnel made by that helicopter crash. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get Isabella to wait right here. She's trying her best, and I'm going to be opening the door. Before I open the door, I'm going to be drinking this blue beverage we have, which I guess is the special surprise. Also, I hope Isabella's going to be okay. She's currently getting beat up. Isabella, you okay over there? He likes to have a little bit of fun. Moments. My health doesn't matter because I can just do this. Where's she at? Okay, so drinking that drink is now going to help us. I'm going to pick up Isabella, and the final boss is actually 2 fights. This is also the only time in Dead Rising that you would normally use mouse and keyboard. Traditionally, a lot of runners will be using a controller just because, the game natively came out on 360 and a lot of people are used to that. Plus, the game's a lot more arcadey and you don't really want to aim at all. This is going to be a rail shooter fight where I just hop on my mouse and you are aiming for the green sensors. Now, I want to mention that these sensors are sensors. These aren't the tank just being broken by the machine gun. You're breaking the automatic control system on the tank. You can actually tank the damage nicely, but if you want to get rid of it, you can shoot that up there. It's not needed, but if you're trying to do no damage or something, you can do that. If you know you're doing damage, you see those giant fireballs that look like meatballs on the side. As you can see, if I shoot the regular tank, nothing. I shoot the sensors, big damage. And this kind of just depends on how steady your hand can be. So if you're good at FPS games, this is really good. And luckily it is on rails, so it's more like House of the Dead than anything, I suppose. As well, my health's not going to matter too much because my health will be perfectly fine. One thing I should mention, I said Larry should probably be at level 30. You'd probably be level 40 getting into this fight traditionally. And the reason why it's a melee fight is because no matter what weapons you have, a lot of people like to get the mini chainsaws, the mannequin torso. This fight coming up will strip you of every single weapon you have. However, it will not strip you of any pre-existing effects. So you may notice there's something in the bottom right. That may give it away. Anyway, let's see. Almost done with this fight. Good dodge. And... all right, phase 1 should be down after this corner. There's phase 1. Okay, so phase 2. We're going to be fighting the big bad of Dead Rising. We're going to be getting on into it. Military man, hand-to-hand combat. How are we going to beat him? That's right, you guessed it. We're going to spit on him until he dies. So the general idea of this is there's an upgrade in the game called Spitfire, and by spitting on his knees, you can do an immense amount of base damage. Now, Frank's hands do not hit very well, but Frank West is actually a venomous snake, so if you spit on his knees, we're going to be able to kill him until he dies. Now, there's a couple ways of doing this. The general idea is you want to get him on top on one side, and you're just kind of spitting on him. Ideally, you want to see blood coming out of his knees, because that's the better strat. You know you're doing damage. However, you can also chip block him to death. That's another way. Or should I say chip rock him to death. Alright, time should be coming up on the final hit, and... rock. He's dead. Time. And that is spinning on a man until he dies. I can't say there's a lot of games that let you get away with that, but that has been Dead Rising. Also, just look how happy he is. I mean... I guess happiness is the only way to go from that, right? I think so. Once again, I have been Ecdycis. I hope that you all enjoy Dead Rising. I would love for you all to come check me out sometime on, you know, things like Twitch and all that. But I hope that you all enjoyed this run and enjoy the horror block to come. We have some great runs coming up, and just enjoy. You can kind of see my reaction to when I found out you can spit on a man until he dies.
I mean, can you say more than that? That was Ecdycis with Dead Rising. Fantastic run. Thank you, everybody, for helping us to meet the bonus as well. Fantastic, fantastic. We are currently getting set up for our next run, which is Rebecca RE, and that is going to be Tormented Souls, but that'll be coming up in just a moment. We had a few more donations come in for Ecdycis here for Dead Rising. We had a $250 donation from Digital Century, who said, so excited to see Ecdycis run this. Best of luck and have fun. Donation goes to an Eternal Enigma's choice for being an awesome host. Well, Digital Century, thank you for being an awesome donator. And let me go ahead and set the record straight. If you want the host choice for my donations, it's got to be that Resident Evil Village bonus game. That's the one I'm going for. So if you put any and you give it my choice, it's going to that. And again, I just want to thank everybody for being here. I am AnEternalEnigma. This is my 10th GDQ as a host, my 11th overall. It is a pleasure to be here. We are here for the Prevent Cancer Foundation and help raise money for them. And if you don't know exactly what that is, let me tell you a little bit about it. The Prevent Cancer Foundation was founded in 1985, and they're a United States-based nonprofit organization. Their mission is to save lives across all population through cancer prevention and early detection by focusing their work through research, education, outreach, and advocacy. Their vision is to stop cancer before it starts. And you can find out more information about PCF at preventcancer.org. Also, Awesome Games Done Quick 2022 Online is brought to you by The Yeti. The Yeti creates amazing merch, apparel, and vinyl for video games and pop culture. They're the official merch supporter of Games Done Quick events for over 10 years. They've raised over $2 million, and they've donated over $2 million to GDQ charities, and all profits from the AGDQ 2022 collection go to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Find out more at www.theyeti.com.
Hello there. Working at the Yeti, making church for charity. Long hours in the warehouse, spreading the love and helping out. Spreading the love and helping out. Screen printing, creating those tees. They're so beautiful.
All right, we had a few more donations while we're getting set up for our next run, which is Tormented Souls by Rebecca R.E. I'm going to read a few more donations that came in for Ecdycis and Dead Rising. We have a $25 donation from Battle Mule, who says, I've heard Ecdycis is somewhat of a Dead Rising content creator himself. Sub our Galarians when? Donation to Enigma's Choice. We had $25 from Hypest Ivysaur, who says Ecdycis and Eternal Enigma. The hype is almost too much. Thanks to you both for being so awesome and good luck on the run. And a good run it was indeed. $25 from Boreal Neva, who says, love watching games done quick. Always a good time, especially when it benefits cancer research as well. Appreciate Ecdycis for the quality gameplay and Eternal Enigma for the stunning commentary. Love you all. You're being too nice to me, okay? Way too nice to me. But thank you very much. Thank you for all your donations. We have a $100 donation from DJ Crabhat, who says, seen birds in the sky, trees in between, grubs in the ground, it was so serene. The sky was blue, yeah, the grass was green. And that's 3 square meals, if you know what I mean. Thanks to Ecdycis for your great streams and running this beautiful game. We have $50 from Dr. Goldfish, who says, gotta donate for one of my favorite streamers, Ecdycis. And it was mentioned in one of those donations. Ecdycis is also the host of one of these shows on the GDQ Hotfix. Speed runs from the crypt. So make sure you don't miss that. I think it's every other Wednesday night. We had a $250 donation from Amanda Campbell, who says, had to donate during the much-anticipated Dead Rising run. Ecdycis is a pro at explaining his runs and making them fun. I lost my best friend to cancer almost 11 years ago, so I'm making this donation in her honor. Keep up the great work, AGDQ and chat. Thank you, Amanda. We appreciate that. Well, while we're getting ready for our next run, we have something that also may be relevant to your interest. We have some prizes to show off, so I think we should send it to the one and only Scent.
Sir, quickly, from the west, it comes. We cannot stop it. Pull the lever. Why? Why do I even have that lever? Stay back, beast! Stay back! Quay. Ah! Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to AGDQ 2022 Online. My name is Scent, and honestly, I really have just been waiting like a year for an excuse to pull out that old little castle set of mine and to have some more fun with this absolutely adorable plushie. I'm here to tell you about all of the amazing prizes that you can win during Horror Block, and oh, there are so many great ones as I realize my microphone just got knocked up into the sky. Great opening. Hopefully everyone can still hear me. Tech issues out of the way. Let's start talking about prizes, because that's what we're here for. Now, all the prizes I'm going to be talking about right now are available from now until the end of Kuon. So you've got a little bit of time as we play some spooky speedruns, but make sure to get those donations in sooner rather than later. First off, let's just address the trunk in the room. You can't get over it. It is this adorable jumbo chocobo plush that is sitting in my lap right now. $25 minimum donation from Pincushion Cat Plushies. So cool. I love this thing. Shout and I were talking about it earlier, but really, like, it is just so firm. It is so massive. I love this chocobo. You could love this chocobo too. $25 minimum donation could be yours. I'm just going to tell you right now. You haven't already gotten a $50 minimum donation in today. You definitely want to, because we have two amazing day prizes. I'll talk about them just a little bit later. You don't want to miss out on them. So make sure to get those $50 donations in today before the end of Kuon so that you can be sure you are eligible. Now, let's talk about some other adorable plushes we have here. From Blanco Crafts, we have this absolutely adorable Mew plush. It really just kind of collapses into your arms. I instinctively want to cradle this. This to me is baby, and I love it. It's a $15 minimum donation. Got an adorably long tail. It's got just such a fluffy and soft body. And Blanco Crafts has done us a bit of a favor and added a special nurse's cap to the Mew. So this is a completely unique design just for AGDQ. You can't get this design anywhere else, and it's super adorable. Thank you so much. Again, only a $15 minimum donation. You could take home that lovely, lovely Mew. What else do we got? We got some other super cool stuff as well. From Miss Scarlett Tangier, we have this incredible oil on canvas flowers in the church painting. We've got the Buster Sword in the Midgard church there with the rain coming down, with the flowers and that little pool. It's such an evocative scene of Final Fantasy VII. It's been probably 2 decades since I've played that game, and yet I can just kind of remember back on things looking at this painting. It is absolutely incredible. The work that they've put in to add the rain effect on top of the painting is just absolutely beautiful. I'm going to try and bring it a little closer to the camera and shine some light on it so you can get a better look, but this thing, absolutely amazing. One of a kind oil on canvas painting could be yours for a $25 minimum donation. There are so many amazing prizes we have. You definitely want to get in at least a $50 minimum donation today so that you are eligible for all of them. We have some lovely patches from Wolf Shadow of the Shinra Company logo. We have a beautiful coin from Super Mario World from Cute Monster Props, our good friends over there. Pearl Pop sent us beautiful Yoshi Perler. That thing is awesome. Oh, Chu, one of my absolute favorite artists, did a super cool Zorora, Hisuian Zorora, I should say, poster. You can check it out. It's holographic. It shines in the light. Wish it had gotten in here in time to show everyone because it is absolutely amazing. And of course, we have a couple of lovely $50 day prizes. So minimum donation to $50, you could win this absolutely lovely painting of the meteor from Final Fantasy VII. It is just such an iconic scene. It is such an iconic part of gaming in general. How could you not want something like that in your house? It's only a $50 minimum donation. Speaking of $50 minimum donation, from Lalin from Lalin's Garden, we have this absolutely beautiful Silent Princess specimen. This is a handmade flower made out of fabric and silk. It is absolutely incredible. $50 minimum donation for it. Again, you got to get that donation in before the end of Kuon if you want to be eligible to win this one-of-a-kind piece of art. It's beautiful. Again, the first time I saw this piece was in an email from Lalin, and my mind just immediately went, how am I going to ship a flower to someone? I love this. This is beautiful, but how is this going to work? And then they had to respond to me with, oh yeah, no, this is made of silk. This is made of fabric. It is just meant to look like a life flower from the game. And things made a little more sense. I felt a little silly, but at the same time, the artistry, absolutely top notch there for sure. And if we're talking about prizes, got to take at least a minute and talk about our grand prize because we have 2 amazing grand prizes. They are both cumulatively $250 donations throughout the event. So you're going to total up all of your donations throughout the event. If that reaches or exceeds $250, you are going to be entered into both of these amazing prizes. First off, from our friends over at Heroic Replicas. Shouts to David, Heroic Replicas. Been making us cool stuff for so many years now. This year is absolutely no exception because we have a Darkling styled Master Sword. Got a black hilt and pommel with silver accents, the regular blade. It is an absolute work of art. Comes with a Hylian shield as well, a new and improved model of the Hylian shield. It really pops. It's super colorful. It's got some heft to it. It's, I believe, about 15 or 20 pounds. It's a workout to pick up back at the studio for sure. And new this event and included in this prize pack, we have a Megaton hammer from Heroic Replicas. It is massive. It is solid metal. It is a good 30-pound hammer. You can see a cool illustration of its fabrication over on gamesdonequick.com. I believe Dave also tweeted out a picture of it as well. Super cool. You'll get all 3 with a $250 cumulative donation throughout the marathon. But we also have another grand prize, a Skytech Gaming Mark 9 PC. It is such a great machine. Seriously, it's really good. It's got a 3070 Ti in it. I know I keep saying that, but genuinely, I've been trying to build myself a new PC for like the last year. It's so hard to find good parts right now. This thing has a ton of them. You can head over to gamesdonequick.com, check out the full specs for the PC there. Anyway, that's going to be just about all the time I have. I encourage everyone else to turn off their own lamps at home, get comfortable, but stay tuned and don't miss a minute of all of the horror block speedrun action coming up right after this.
What would GDQ be without prizes with Cent? It has become iconic. Thank you, Cent. Appreciate that very, very much. We are currently getting ready for our next run, still in the works, getting set up here. That is Tormented Souls by Rebecca R.E. So we got a few more donations that came on in. Now, this is regarding a later incentive, and this one's pretty important to me. It's the Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2 incentive that we have here. We have a $1,000 donation from Ty Deltas, who said, I had to donate again just to see that Argic cosplay, especially when it's for such a good cause. And if you don't know what that's referring to, coming up, there will be a Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2 speedrun. And if that incentive of $10,000 is met, Argic will be doing a very, very special cosplay of Sonic the Hedgehog. And if you've never seen it, you need to see it. So let's make sure that's hit in time for Sonic the Hedgehog 4. And we will be right back after this quick break. All right, we are back. We have some more donations that have come in, specifically this one for our next run. We have a $50 donation from Perfetti, who says, can't wait to see this Tormented Souls run. Absolutely loved playing through that game this year. Definitely going to let my donation go to an Eternal Enigma's incentive choice as well, which, by the way, is the Resident Evil Village bonus game for those of you that didn't hear earlier. But speaking of Tormented Souls, I am getting word that we are ready for our next run here on Awesome Games Done Quick 2022 online. It is going to be Tormented Souls by the lovely Rebecca R.E.